G'day. Slightly different video today. I'm talking because it's not going to be our usual ride and food and coffee. I'm responding to a few questions that I got in the comments. People wanted to know a bit more about the bike and the stuff that's on it. So I thought today I would just give a quick rundown on the bike, what it is, the few accessories I've got on it, and what I'm planning to put on it as well. And we're here at Perch Point, I think it's called, which is a little picnic area just on Lake Innes, and I'll show you that in a few drone shots, probably about now. Okay, so it's a 2021, early 2021 Royal Enfield Himalayan, which is still the Euro 4. Late in 21, they released the Euro 5 version, and it is in the sleet colour. Some like it, some don't. It's fine, I quite like it. I also like the other dark colours, the dark grey and the black. They look quite nice as well, but I'm very happy with the sleet, and it was freshly out of the crate and on the showroom floor, so quite an easy decision for me. I thought we'd go from the front, over the top, round the back, and then back to the front again. So starting around the front, still got the original tyres on, the Seats. I'm not experienced enough to know whether they're any good or not. All I can tell you is that I haven't had a problem with them. On some of those more extreme videos, like the, well, I call them extreme, you might not, the sand track and the muddy track, I did have some issues with grip, but I think that's more rider than tyre. I didn't let down the pressures or anything like that on those days. I just went and wanted to see how far I could get. As a general all-around tyre, they've been very good. I do about 60-40, 60 off-road, 40 on-road, including some highway, so I don't really want extreme off-road tyres that might give a bit too much vibration, but these suit me fine. I do have the mudguard risers in place because I have been through water and mud and thought it was a good idea. If you watch Forgotten Motorcycle channel and Fuzzy Biker, you'll know that he recommends the first thing to do after putting those on is put a headlight protector on, which I haven't done yet, but it's one of the next things on the list, and I have seen it. Almost as soon as I installed the risers, I noticed a few bits of gravel get thrown out the front. They didn't come back and hit me, but I could see what the issue is. Next thing is the windscreen, that stock windscreen, although this has probably been the bit that has caused me most annoyance, I think, with the bike. There's just an annoying vibration that I had. Some models, or some bikes have it, some bikes don't. I tried a few different things, including a few different washer arrangements down here. So I've ended up on this. These are non-standard bolts which I've put through, and this rubber, if you can see it there, that is an inner tube from a bicycle that I have cut out, and it wraps around, and it adds that extra bit of vibration protection around there. And you might also be able to notice I've added a bit of inner tube just under there as well. I couldn't quite nail down where that vibration was coming from, whether it was the screen hitting the top of the headlight, because this is in the forward position, because you have to have that with bark busters. We'll get that in a minute. As soon as I've done that, the vibration's gone away. Okay, so then moving back, bark busters. I got these almost straight away just because I'm a novice rider. I did expect to drop the bike and wanted a bit of protection around my gear levers and brake levers. I went with the standard bark buster kit. I have no issues with those. The only thing that really surprised me was at how tight it was to get them on. Watching YouTube videos, it just looked straightforward, but there was actually quite a lot of fiddling about just to get them to fit on the standard handlebar. Nevertheless, they're there, and they're They're good, they don't rattle around, do block a bit of wind on the hands, so that's all good. I do have that issue where the lower part of this screen fogs up a little. It doesn't bother me, I very rarely refer to it, and it comes and goes, so I'm not going to bother pulling apart things and trying to fix it. It's all good. The Notorious Compass, for me, it works fine. It's accurate about 8 or 9 times out of 10 that I look at it. I don't rely on it for navigation. Although it is handy sometimes to know which direction I'm heading if I can't particularly see the sun or whatnot. But some people, it doesn't work. Mine, it works fine. Mirrors is another thing people often mention, that they want to swap out the mirrors. I haven't had a problem with these mirrors. They're fine. I can see well around me. They don't vibrate. If it does vibrate, there's just 3 screws underneath there that you tighten up. They're all good. Okay, next is the front side bags that I got from Hitchcock's. These are the ones purpose built for the Himalayan, and they fit the same shape as this front rail here, which the shape has changed in the latest iteration of the Himalayan. I'm not sure whether these will fit. I don't know. I haven't really looked at it that closely, but anyway, they fit on nicely. There's, I think, 5 Velcro points here, which means you can't put heavy weight in there, but then again, you probably don't want to. I use it for carrying first aid kit, water, tool roll, and any other little bits and pieces. They're very handy to have, just even on the bike by itself when you're not carrying any other gear, just because it's so handy to get to. The only thing is, I find this double zip arrangement a bit fiddly, but that's just me. Okay, fuel. I usually use 91 or 95 fuel. There is an issue where the fuel gauge doesn't register that you put fuel in for quite some time, and sometimes that can be 20 kilometres, sometimes it can be nearly 100 kilometres. Someone on a Facebook owners group did mention that it was to do with ethanol fuel, so I stopped using ethanol fuel, but that didn't change it at all. Shaking the bike around a little bit, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And you will notice the fuel trip meter comes on, warning you that you're down to the lower half of your tank. We have worked out that comes on when there's 5 litres left in the tank. So it's a 15 litre tank, which means it comes on at 1/3. 5 litres gives you about 100 kilometres of range. There's an F trip meter that comes on automatically, and that'll show you how far you've gone since you've got to that 5 litres. So generally you can let that run until it shows about 100 kilometres. Speaking of the tank, I did get, on my last order with Hitchcock's, I got these tank pads because I did notice in the ride, the video where I go through that water, that was actually a 2-day group ride, and we did quite a lot of standing up, and I did notice it was a bit slippery on the knees trying to grip the tank on this tank. So I whacked those on, and they've been great. Really nice solid rubber. They fitted quite nicely. I did have a bit of an issue where it came unstuck. I just persisted. I just pressed it in a bit more and held it in, and it's come good. My last order from Hitchcock's, I got those little stickers that go on for nothing other than I think they look pretty good, and they were very inexpensive. The seat is another thing that a lot of people comment on in Himalayans. I've had no problems with the seat, and I've spent quite a few hours in it at a time, and only on the very long days will I get a slightly sore bum. I weigh 95 kilos, I'm about 184 centimetres, 6 foot tall, and as you would notice from my videos, I spend a lot of time sitting down on the bike where I probably should be standing, but nevertheless, I'm quite comfortable on that seat. Moving back to the gear, I don't normally ride in this configuration. I'll either have my hard cases, or I'll have this soft roll top pack on here, depending on the type of conditions I'm expecting, but just for the purpose of this video, I've put them all on. So this is a Osar dry pack, 25 litres, very durable, lots of configuration options. As you can see, I strap it to the pannier racks, and I have those set at a particular length already, and I can just take it off very quickly with those straps, with those clips. You can also put another one piggyback style on top, or whatever you like. You can put your tent on there, you can put a chair, whatever you like. Good thing about this, and it's not looking great because it's only got a couple of things in it, you've got an air valve here, so you can compress it right up, let all the air out, and then tighten it up. And it's really nice and watertight. These are waterproof bags. Very durable, and very happy with them. I didn't buy my hard cases with the bike. I bought them later. I bought them from eBay, and I got That's as a bundle. I got the side cases, I got the rack, and I got the two rubber bags that fit inside. I've only bought one today just to show you, and they fit inside. That gives you your waterproof. I did see someone do a video of testing how waterproof these cases are. They're not meant to be, they're just meant to be water resistant, and it's only with something like that you'll get waterproofing. You could use anything, you don't need to buy the Royal Enfields, you could use something like that or any other dry pack, which might even be better because these are quite bulky. I actually find them quite handy because I put the camera gear in these bags, in these side cases, and I just want a little bit of extra vibration protection for the cameras. So that's why I use them in there even when I'm not expecting rain. But I found those really good. I also use this bike for running around town, doing errands, picking up small things from the shops, that kind of thing. That's where the cases are perfect. When I pull up in town, I'll put my jacket in here and gloves. I'm not too worried about my helmet. I will just leave that on the mirrors and I walk away and can barely tell that I've just got off a motorcycle. Really good. As you'll see here, that you do need to fiddle about when you're installing these things for yourself, and this is the standard brace bracket that comes on with the rear cases. I have had a few issues with bolts coming out with lots of vibration. That could be me not tightening them enough, and also the first time I put these in, because I had expected there might be occasions where I'd be taking the racks off and on, but that hasn't been the case. I didn't use Loctite, so now I've redone them all with Loctite. Haven't moved. Really good. Again, the Seat tyres, all good. They're looking really good. They've got about 4,000 kilometres on them now, and they're looking fine. At least another couple of thousand kilometres, I would say, before I need to change. Okay, the next thing, as you can see, I don't have one of those big feet on the kickstand. And I need one, so you can't see it, but I have a piece of wood wrapped in some electrical tape that I keep in the handy side pocket, and I throw that down, and here it was started to sink straight away. As you might have guessed from some of the videos that I've done, we have had a lot of rain and the ground is very wet everywhere around here, so that's the next thing on the list. That's the highest priority thing, I think. Okay, in behind here is the air filter. I have changed the air filter. I took out the standard and I replaced it with the DNA performance filter. I kept it like that for a month or two, and then I added in the stage 2 element, which essentially takes the cover off the air filter, which has a kind of a snorkel on it, just replaces it with a metal spacer. I think the biggest improvement was probably just with the air filter itself, and a little bit more improvement, perhaps it's psychological, I'm not sure, with the stage 2. I'm happy with it. I think it's changed the note of the engine slightly, and every now and then at idle you can hear a little whoop 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 coming from in here as it's sucking in air, but I haven't made any other changes to the engine. Last but not least is the Royal Enfield large engine guard / leg guard. I think they're more of a leg guard than an engine guard. They will bend, I think, if they meet any particular force, but for me I wanted something that's going to hold the bike up if I do have a low speed fall, and because I do ride solo, and it would just be easier if I can get my legs out quicker. Alright, well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that little look around the bike. It's my bike, it's my stuff. Yours will be completely different, but I hope it gives you a few things to think about if you're thinking about buying a Himalayan. I hope this helped, and if you've got a Himalayan and you've got accessories, what accessories have you got? What do you want and what do you need? Write them down in the comments below. It'd be interesting to have a look. Until then, until next week, where we're going to go for a nice ride and something to eat, weather permitting, and of course a nice coffee. I'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Just realised that bloody car has got his engine running. And I'm falling over a bush. Let's get on with come on.